Okay, so I finally got a chance to watch a film that has been on my list since it was announced, VHS 94. I've always been a fan of the VHS films, and I'm glad they brought out another one, especially after the third one, Viral, which was not for me. I'll just leave it at that. Was a little bit disappointed, especially because, well, a lot of reasons, but one of the reasons was because it was the one with the least skits. I didn't like how it had only three of them, and I found like it was kind of wasted opportunity out of, especially after, following the VHS 1 and 2. So I was glad they revamped it, and the idea of bringing it to 1994 was also very interesting for me, so I definitely wanted to check it out. And I heard great things about it, so I was excited. This is going to be a spoiler-free review, so I'm going to leave it completely vague, and obviously going to be talking about the segments, but I'm going to be as as you know brief with them as I possibly can be. Now, with me, for anybody who knows me, I consider anything a spoiler. So my first suggestion is go watch the film and then come back. If you don't want to know anything about it, as I would not want to know anything about it. But like I said, I'm still going to keep it spoiler free for anybody who just wants to know the gist and the basics. Your wraparound story, they call it Holy Hell, and basically it's like a SWAT kind of siege on this building. This building kind of looks like an abandoned factory kind of deal going on. You got the SWAT going in, and strange things are in there. You got televisions everywhere. Seems kind of like something culty going on, and they just start to discover really weird things as these anthologies start to play out. The first anthology, it involves this creature, and this creature is called Ratman, and or Ratma they call it. So Ratma, but a lot of people call it Ratman as well. And this is an urban legend, and apparently this creature lives in the sewers. And you got this news reporter named Holly, and she is trying to get a story on the locals and stuff like that. And the locals are kind of weird, but eventually they do make it to the sewers, and excuse me, I'm getting over a cold. Her and her cameraman decide to go make a story in the sewers. Eventually, they start to kind of branch off from the main story that they're doing about the Rat Man, and she comes up with an idea to do a different kind of story on like the people living under there and stuff like that. And they land in the wrong place. We'll just say that. It's a very very creepy story, and it's probably got some of the best jump scares and some of the best chills out of the there's four anthologies in this one, so out of the four, it probably has like the most uneasy feeling that you can get. The second one involves a funeral home, and this young lady is kind of keeping watch while she's waiting for people to come in, but nobody seems to be coming in. And there's like a huge storm outside. It's very effective in its atmosphere. The way it really feels like a stormy rainy night, and there's that spook factor to it. And she has this paranoia that she keeps thinking that the body in the casket is alive. And then things play out from there. There's a lot of paranoia, there's a lot of tension. You ask if she's hallucinating or not, but where it goes, it's kind of obvious on the answer to that, whether she is or not. So when you see it, you'll know what I mean. But yeah, it gets creepy too, and it's more of a single location and also single character skit. So there's not too many people in it. Obviously her, but and I won't get like there is more than her, but I won't get into detail on who or what or how they come in and stuff like that. Third one is really good. This is the 4-in-1. Now this is the one that involved a lot of people that were involved with like the Raid films and The Night Comes for Us and Headshot. The director of Headshot and The Night Comes for Us, and I believe the director who did the skit in VHS 2, the one with that that cultish school, was it, or something like that? The Indonesian skit in VHS 2. Same production, same director. And this one's awesome too. Like, very, very good. This doctor is basically doing experiments on people, and he likes to use robotic parts on people. So he wants to create like man machine stuff. And again, I'm just going to leave it there because if I say any more than that, it will get two spoilers. So this doctor basically is experimenting on people and likes to create man machine type projects. It starts very typical with your like body horror gore stuff, and then it gets very video game-ish. So if you like Doom, like if you like the movie adaptation of Doom, especially the finale of it, it kind of goes there. For anybody who's seen Doom, you'll probably get a little bit of an idea for it. Very, very well directed, very kind of blending a lot of action with the horror. I would say the mashup kind of also takes a little bit of, well, not inspiration, but you can get similarities if you've seen the film. Oh shit, I'm blanking. The latest James Wan one. Ma, I keep forgetting the word, and it's not Maleficent. The latest James Wan film, I'm sure everybody knows what I'm talking about. If you've seen it, it kind of like it blends action and horror in that way, and it's very, very well done. All his stuff is well done. He like that director doesn't make a single bad movie. If you've seen The Night Comes for Us, if you've seen Headshot, if you've seen the Raid films, you know exactly what it is. And then the fourth one, this was in my opinion just the one that worked the least for me. I wasn't really into it. I didn't really enjoy it. It involves this really like not hillbilly, like redneck militia kind of thing. You know, like it's like if like Duck Dynasty was like murderers kind of thing, or if like if anybody's seen the Fubar films, like Fubar 1 and 2, instead of them just downing beers and partying all the time, if they were like involved in like weird murderous cults kind of thing. But it has that kind of redneckish vibe where these guys they're so gun friendly, they're like always they're shooting shit up, they're blowing shit up, they're making bombs, and they have this. It's also a confusing one. I don't know how to explain it, and I don't want to explain it too much in detail either. But they have somebody held captive, and they yeah, I don't know how far to go on this one. They have somebody held captive. This person ends up not, being who they think they are. But they think this person is like delivered to them like as if it's some messiah or something like that. And because this person like changes and isn't able to, I'll just say, die. And then they kind of they kind of act like as if this person was brought to them as a sign, but they also want to. I don't know. It was weird, and not just the plot was weird. I also didn't really enjoy like the practical effects to it as well. Compared to the other three as well, the other three were so like 4 out of 5 or 5 out of 5 stars, where this one just was more like a 2.5 to 3 for me. It just didn't work for me. That's all. But to have three perfect segments out of four, it's definitely something that I would recommend, and definitely a step up following the third VHS film. And I highly recommend VHS 94. Another thing with the 94 thing, they do a great job with the cinematography and the way the cameras look, the way the videos look. It looks like video footage from the 90s for sure. They obviously use 90s cameras and all that, so they really stick to the 94 thing. The wraparound story is cool. I would say the acting in it is a little shaky compared to the stories. The segments are much more well done than the wraparound story is acting wise. I don't know if they did that on purpose or not. I will mention one line, which is not a spoiler, might be a light spoiler, but as I said in the beginning, like everything could be considered a spoiler, but it's just a line somebody says, and I found it the way they delivered it was hilarious. This is in the Holy Hell story, the wraparound, and this guy's just like, because he discovers something, and he's just like, the way he says it, he's like, we don't need more tactile, we need a grave digger. And it's just the way he says grave digger, it's so funny. We need a grave digger. I laughed my ass off. Just the delivery of it, it was awesome. It was awesome. If you've seen VHS 94, you know exactly what I'm talking about. So, yeah, and then out of the four, the fourth story was the weakest for me, and that's about it. Overall, the film is a high recommendation. I gave it 4 out of 5 on Letterboxd, and it was fun. So VHS 94 is a recommendation from me for sure. So go check it out if you haven't yet. And subscribe to Morgan Film Fan if you like to listen to my voice, or if you like my film reviews. I'll be back with more. There's lots on the channel, so go check those out. And until next time, have a good one, and cheers.